Whoa, buddy. Put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Live around the world on the internet at MichaelDukesShow.com and across the state of Alaska on this, your favorite radio station and or FM translator. Hello, good morning. It's Christmas. It's not Christmas Day. It's so close we can feel it. Only 4 more sleeps till Christmas morning, my friends, and we are ready to go with this beautiful, beautiful holiday season. And it's official. I'm on vacation right now. I mean, this is it. I decided to give up my my morning sleep in for you guys to share one more brief moment with you and enjoy some time together here on this final day of broadcast for 2023. We will be off the air starting tomorrow, and there'll be alternate programming in place between now, and we will be returning on January the 2nd. Tuesday, January the 2nd. We'll be back in the saddle again, and we'll be ready to go. It will be amazing. So, hi, how are you? Welcome to the program. Thanks for coming on and joining us today. I guess first and foremost, we get to crown the king of the holiday recipe contest. I'm hoping he's in the chat room this morning already. And he is. I see him in there this morning. So big congratulations to Bill Brock, who is the winner of the holiday recipe contest. Because I think he properly followed the instructions. I told people to post their favorite recipes on the site and then share it with all their friends and tell all their friends to vote for their recipes. And I think Bill got the memo and he got it done. So Bill is the winner of the holiday recipe contest with his delicious, I've got all the ingredients to make this weekend. The bourbon caramel corn. So you got, you got all popcorn and sugar and butter and corn, just all the things, a little bit of bourbon and let it all burps all the alcohol off and everything else, and you pour the mixture over the popcorn, and oh man, it's gonna be. I'm ready. I'm ready to check it out, and so it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. So with a whole bunch of votes, Bill handily walks away as the holiday recipe champion for this year. Coming up in second place this year is Jennifer Kronk Sampson, who actually had 2 recipes with exactly the same number of votes. I mean, they were both, Bill and Jennifer were ahead by a mile. Jennifer has got her 2 recipes that she put up here. Both had a fantastic turnout and click through. Her first one is Papa's Cheesy Holiday Potatoes for the Crowd. She said that her dad made these every holiday and that they were everyone's favorite. Said they couldn't keep them around, and she has continued to the tradition. So cheesy holiday potatoes, I'm all about that. Just so you know. And the second item that she posted up there was Grandma Sampson's Alaska Cranberry Pumpkin Bread. And she said her family picks all the cranberries in the fall up in Fairbanks, and they love to make this bread to showcase the cranberry. It freezes well for gifts and for the holidays. So those recipes, plus, I don't know, a couple dozen other holiday recipes are up on our Facebook page. Now, somebody asked me yesterday if I would please not take any of the recipes down until she got a chance to transcribe them all into something. And you don't have to worry. In fact, if you actually went back and took the time to go back on my Facebook page and you scroll back, because I don't delete any posts, you'll actually find the previous holiday recipe contests from the past years. I think I started this about 8-9 years ago. And we've done probably over the last 10 years, we've probably done 5 or 6 of these holiday recipe contests. And you could find some great recipes. There's an oyster stuffing recipe that we use. Anyway, there's a lot of great stuff on there. So congratulations to Bill. You are the champion, my friend. You're the champion on that. And Jennifer for being the runner-up. And so I'll reach out to both of you via Facebook. And Bill gets his choice of which prize he wants. Whether he wants the Beard Curler coffee in the coffee mug, or whether he wants the pair of gift certificates to Point Blank Firearms and Self-Defense, which is for a pair of basic pistol classes, and or he gets his choice, and then Jennifer gets what's left over. And Jennifer, if he takes the mock, I might be able to find you a coffee mug as well if you want. So just throwing it all out there. All right. Coming up later on in the program this morning, we're going to be joined by State Senator Mike Shower. Mike Shower comes in for the final shower hour of power. It's going to be, it's a lot of fun. And today it's all positivity and good stories. And I'll be honest with you. Can I be a little, can I wear my shirt, my heart on my sleeve for a minute and be a little honest with you? I had a little cry this morning. I read a story that just, I don't know why, but it just tripped me, and I realized I had a tear trickling out of the corner of my eye. And I'm going to share that story with you. Not that it was sad. It was very happy, but it was just one of those things where it just struck me as I read the story, and I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying. Anyway, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I got some good stories for you here. We're going to finish that. But first and foremost, the phone lines are up and open this morning because I said it yesterday. I want you folks to be able to share your Christmas, your favorite Christmas memories or traditions or whatever it is. I want you guys to be able to share it. And so I want to hear from you guys today. I just want this first hour to I just want to hang out. I mean, I just want to hang out and know what you guys are doing for Christmas. Do you have any plans? Do you have family coming in you want to brag about? Do you got kids or relatives or friends or lovers or whoever's coming into town? I just want to know I just want to share this morning. And we'll see what they get. No, they did not win snow shovels. Somebody said, what do they win? They win snow shovels. I mean, well, I could use another snow shovel down here. I literally got stuck in my own driveway yesterday morning after the show. And my driveway is not that long. My driveway is 2 car lengths long, and I got stuck. I was in a hurry, and I got sucked into the edge of the bank, and that was the whole thing. That was when I looked at the sky and said, really? I mean, really? I mean, I'm just questioning whether or not that should work out. It's crazy. Let's see. I'm headed to Missouri to spend Christmas with my family, said Kelly in the chat room. Well, great. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, commercialism, the Christmas lights and the decorations, those are all part of it for me. But what those are like place settings for what's coming. What's coming is a beautiful time to be spent with a family, to hang out, to just to enjoy a brief respite from the world. And the rat race, the drag, the constant struggle. This Kelly said she just got into it. She's at the airport apparently. So she said she just got into it with TSA. I'm with you. I admitted yesterday to Red Keithley that I might have a bit of a problem with authority. I don't know if you know that about me, but when I travel, my wife is like, God, sometimes I hate to travel with you. And I'm like, I'm trying. I don't fight with TSA, but I just get agitated by the whole thing. I just get agitated by the whole security theater. When you know the stats of what's going on and how many times the TSA has failed themselves, even their own red team that goes out and tests them. It's secure. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Anyway, it's a great time to share. So the phone lines are open right now at 907-433-3150. 907-433-3150. I would love to hear from you if you want to share, any of the thoughts, dreams, ideas, whatever, of what you're doing for Christmas. It's not about the presents, says Melody. Presents, like presents under the tree. It's about who is present. And that is, you win the internet for today, Melody. That's a perfect comment. It's about who is present. It's not about the presents. It's about who is present. And that's the truth. We've had very small Christmases sometimes with, that were some of the best because it was just us hanging out, doing what they do. Bill, who is the winner of the holiday contest, by the way, said, what am I doing for Christmas? My significant other is working, does home health care, so I'm smoking a prime rib and making my homemade baked beans and taking Christmas dinner to her and her client. Oh, man, you are the man. You are the man. Amazing, amazing, amazing time. So anyway, I'm just going to chat with the chat room or with you on the phone or whatever. And I got a whole raft of stories to talk about that are good. I tried to find, it's kind of depressing sometimes when I'm looking for. So this morning, I have a series of good news sites that I go to for good news. And I had some good news, but I'm like, I wonder if there's any Christmas good news. So I immediately Google Christmas, good news, Christmas, feel good Christmas stories, whatever. And it seems like most major news outlet have a tag for Christmas. And I'm searching through them and it's like, church burns down right before Christmas and, people lose their Christmas presents and I'm just like, oh, this is not what I want. So I shut that off, immediately got off that track and moved over. But I did find some great stories this morning. And I want to I want to share them with you. So feel free to dial up. Feel free to call in. Feel free to join us in the chat room this morning. We got about 35, 40 people in the chat room hanging out with us. Come on come and join us. Come and let us adore him. Just enjoy yourself here this morning as we continue on the Michael Luke Show. Merry Christmas. Back with more right after this.
Marty was pumped for Christmas.
Woo, I'm pumped for Christmas. Ow!
So Marty just bought himself everything he wanted.
Yeah.
Because Marty has no friends.
That turned dark. It's the Michael Dukes Show.
It's the Michael Luke Show. Hello. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm just looking up at the screen here for something that was making sure something was playing right. Okay, it's all good. All right. Let me get caught up here this morning. Okay. Cue the trumpets. Congratulations to Bill. Yep. 2 more days and we start gaining daylight. That's a big deal, Jeffrey. You're 100% on that. That is a big... This is a big deal. This is a big deal right there, for sure. Okay. So, Bill, you'll have to tell me what you want. If you want the certs, which are good for all of January. Just by the way, I'll tell you the sort of certs for Donna's for Donna Anthony's Point Blank Firearms up in Wasilla. Otherwise, I will get you a bag of beer, killer coffee, and a coffee mug. We'll do some stuff like that. Yeah, I'm good. The company I work for gave away snow shovels last Christmas. Dude, you might want to find a higher quality class of employer. Snow shovels for Christmas. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Terry says, no more waiting till after Halloween for snow. Look what happens. You can't blame this on me. I mean, you could, but I don't think that would be right. I don't think that would be right to blame it on me. Rick said, I've been looking at the sky every day and saying that. Really? God, can you give us a break? I mean, I literally, when I got sucked into the snow yesterday morning and I came to a stop, because my car usually just goes just about anywhere. It's, good, stable, Blizzaks, the whole deal. And I really never have a problem. But apparently I wasn't backing out quite straight enough, and I got sucked into a shoulder that my son had not shoveled out quite well enough. And I tried to open the door and realized that the door, I just looked up and I looked up. I was like, really? I just want to go to the office and give all of these presents to these foster teens so that I can come back home and enjoy my vacation. Really? And that was kind of selfish of me. But, what are you going to do? Okay. What else we got here? My son and his wife are hoping to come to Soldovia if the weather is good. Otherwise, they'll stay home. No grandkids this year. No. Well, here's fingers crossed for good weather, my friend. Teresa said, I slid into the intersection last night, but thankfully ended up on a curb, so I went down to the next corner to make the curb. I was very glad that it was not crowded intersection and nobody could hear me shrieking. I got to tell you, last night coming in, it took me 2.5 hours to drive home last night. There was several multi-car accidents, people rolling over. At one point after I got home last night, I didn't get home last night till 7. And Terry, we were sitting on the couch and we were talking, and Terry said she was looking at her phone. She goes, "Oh, well, Wasilla Police Department just announced that there were 6 accidents in the last hour. Slow down, people. Slow down." I mean, people just like, wow. Melody says the last 20 years, Christmas is really hard for me. The last 20 years now since my grandma, mom, passed, Christmas was her jam. Parties for 30, 40 people made up of family and friends. I struggle during the holidays. I miss her so much. I carry on her traditions with my kids and grandkids. Well, Melody, Merry Christmas to you. And thank you for carrying on your grandma's traditions. She would have wanted that. I can almost guarantee you. She would have wanted that. That's the fact. Where's your Santa hat? I couldn't find it this year. I have a green. I like the green, like the dark green Santa with the white. That's what I like. And I couldn't find my Santa hat. I haven't seen it in the last couple of years. I'm trying to figure out if my wife threw it away because she hated it or I don't know. I'm sure she did. Okay, here we go. The Michael Duke Show, Common Sense Radio. Okay, welcome back to the program. It's the Michael Duke Show. It's the final show of the year. It's the final broadcast day of the year, and we are hanging out here in this first hour just chatting. Bill, if you need those certificates to be good for beyond January, I can make that happen. So let me know if that's what you prefer. You let me know on that. You tell me what you prefer. I'll make it happen. How about that? Okay. Where was I? Oh, I was phone lines. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted this morning. I'm ready. We've been talking about traditions and favorite things in the chat room. David said my best gift was a Daisy BB gun, and yes, we used it in war games, and no one lost an eye. You know, kids are going to do that. Are they not? I mean, I almost wanted to issue my kids safety glasses when they gave them the BB gun and said, there you go. You know, just whatever. That's fine. I just, I know you're going to go out there and I know you're going to shoot each other. I know that would, yeah. Jeffrey says, I make egg benedict for Christmas brunch. Started out with an 18-pack of eggs. Now I'm over 48 eggs. Either somebody really likes your eggs benedict or you got a lot of folks around there. You have to share. Jeffrey, why didn't you share your eggs benedict recipe? That sounds delicious. I love an eggs benedict, and I've actually never made it. I like it. I've eaten it at restaurants, but I've never made it. I would love to make an eggs benedict. So Jeffrey, if you feel like it, go post it up on the recipe. I know the recipe contest is over. That doesn't mean that you can't share it up there on the recipe contest. That's the kind of recipe that I wanted. Was a recipe that is important to you. Your breakfast, your Christmas breakfast, your Christmas brunch, your Christmas dinner recipes, your Christmas Eve recipes, even your New Year's recipes. So I would love to hear about that. Just feel free to go do that, and get it done. All right. Let's see. It was what kind of stories do I got here? Since nobody's calling in to share your Christmas, I just feel like you guys are just being stingy now because I wanted you to share your Christmas traditions with me, but that's okay. We're gonna jump over here. Here's a story that is heartwarming for sure. Growing up, Charles Graves never had the opportunity to tell Santa what he wanted for Christmas. Why? It's not because he didn't go to the store, not because they didn't see the Santa at the mall. It's because Charles was deaf. And he says that his family didn't sign when he was a child, which apparently is not an uncommon situation. His family never figured out how to sign. And so he said, my Christmas memories consist of watching my siblings chat with Santa Claus while all I got was a thumbs up and a pat on the back. He says that's a reality that's true for children all over the world. So to help with that problem, he and his wife, Carrie, who is also deaf, now travel the U.S. as Santa and Mrs. Claus to spread holiday cheer to children who can't hear, signing in American Sign Language. He said each child deserves to see a Santa Claus that they can understand and relate to. This year, near Washington, D.C., is Gaylord National Resort. He stops there each year, in addition to a handful of other Gaylord resorts and some spots in his home state of Texas. And he said, we're grateful there's enough acceptance out there to outweigh the no's, he says, when booking each job for the season. Like many of his colleagues, Graves, who is an educator at the Texas School for the Deaf in Austin, attended Santa School and says he's busy thinking about Christmas when nobody else is, way ahead of each holiday season. He said, however, at the end of the day, when I sit with the children and connect with them, he said, that's the reward. That's why he does it. It's particularly meaningful to do it alongside his wife, he said, because I could never be Santa without my Mrs. Claus. And he enjoys each and every interaction with the kids that he meets. He says he loves to see the parents react when he clicks with their kids. He said, when you see the joy on parents' faces surpasses the awe of the children's eyes, he said, I know we're etching a core memory. And that's just, that's just amazing. That's just an amazing story. And there was a follow-up story in another one that I didn't was that apparently this is a trend. A little deaf girl was able to tell Santa all by herself what she wants for Christmas for the first time, thanks to an elf who was trained in sign language. There's a heartwarming video up on the internet at the Good News Network. I'll post this link up in the chat room so people can share it out there and take a look at it. But there's a video that's just, oh man, I get a little tear in my eye. This wasn't the one, but I was already, Emily Andrews was 4 years old, was captured in a heartwarming video reeling off her list to Santa via Melanie Boyson, who acted as the elf interpreter for the youngster. Emily asked for a doll, a pram, earrings, a blue dragon, as all the messages were relayed to Santa. Her mom said it was amazing to see everyone become part of Emily's world. And she said, the mom said she was able to be in the moment instead of having to translate what Santa was saying to Emily or what Emily had said to Santa. She said, I was actually able to step back and record it on my phone and enjoy it instead. And so it's again, that's just so, I just love it. I just love it. All right. Should I read you this? Should I read you this story that made me tear up this morning? Oof, this is a hard one. Okay, prepare. Sydney Moore watched as the bassinet containing her 4-month-old infant son, Lord, followed the roof of her mobile home up into the funnel of a tornado, ensuring she thought that she would never see him again. Without time to shed a tear, she then threw herself atop her 1-year-old boy, just as the walls of their home collapsed on both of them. Outside, her car was obliterated, and the area around her Clarksville, Tennessee mobile home was completely destroyed. Surviving the collapse of the home, she searched desperately for the 4-month-old with her boyfriend, who had been thrown by the force of the funnel and broke his arm and shoulder, but he's walking around trying to find their 4-month-old baby. She said, I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead and I'd never see him again. Then, she said, it was a miracle. It was like a little tree cradle, she remembered. Her baby was, but for a single cut, was unscathed, lying asleep in the crook of a fallen tree. Moore's sister remembered thinking that it looked to all the world as if the little baby had just been placed there, as if an angel had guided him through the storm and just laid him into the boughs of the tree. Caitlin's Sydney's sister organized a GoFundMe to help the family recover from the destruction of their home, to get a new vehicle and loss of their furnitures and everything else. And their GoFundMe has raised a bunch of money. But just the pictures of this little tiny baby and the destruction outside the house. I don't know, just, whew, man, that just don't give you chills. I don't know what you need a checkup from the neck up if you're not getting chills over that kind of stuff right there. Okay. What else we got? We got some other stories. Oh, I do want to talk a little bit about this. Now, this doesn't translate quite as well on radio as I like, but there is a there's a story from a couple days ago over at Good Morning America, and it's amazing. I mean, look at what we just did. We just did this holiday recipe contest, right? And that was all about the food. It's amazing how much, food is wrapped up into everything that we do for everything, but especially the holidays. And, it's time to catch up on all your favorite holiday movies. What better way to enjoy your favorite holiday flicks than by eating the most memorable foods from an array of these iconic movie scenes? Because, and you don't think about it, but there's always some big, thing that we do. And this Good Morning America article also has, it lays out the different meals from the holiday movies and films, but it also gives you a link to something that would be the real world analog to that. So you get a chance to, for example, the roast beast inspired by the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We never exactly learn what kind of meat the Who's are eating down in Whoville, but it probably is something like a roast beef, right? So they give you a link to Ina Garten's slow roasted filet of beef, which my wife follows Ina Garten on whatever socials that she's on, and she's tried a couple recipes that have been fantastic from Ina Garten. So I'm all about that. I think we could also agree that the infamous leg lamp and Ralphie shooting his eye out with his Red Ryder BB gun are pretty iconic. But remember that they ruined the dog ruined the perfect home cooked meal, so they decided to go out and eat and wind up at Chop Suey Palace for Christmas dinner, where they get served a whole roasted duck. So linked in this article is a Chinese 5-spice roasted duck recipe. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Of course, Kevin McAllister is left home alone, and he loves cheese pizza, and he always gets all the other stuff. So they've got a recipe for cheese pizza. They've also got the ultimate recipe for his Home Alone 2 when he's stuck in New York and he's eating all the ice cream on the bed. You remember that? He orders room service and gets like the biggest holiday sundae that, well, they've got a whole bunch of recipe ideas here for the holiday sundaes as well. Die Hard. Yes, it is a Christmas movie. And they said, well, of course, you could go back and just buy a Twinkie, because that's what Al was always looking for, was a Twinkie. But instead, they also give you the gourmet Twinkie recipe that you can make at home. Now, my daughter has made these from this lady, this pastry chef from Bon Appetit, and they are amazing. Forget about what you know about Twinkies. Try this gourmet homemade Twinkie. It is amazing. And then they got some eggnog recipes and some other stuff as well. But it's kind of a fun little list. I'm posting a lot of stuff up in the chat room today. And if you're driving around or you're at home or whatever, just go to facebook.com/Michael Duke Show, and you'll see all the links. Just scroll through all the comments and you'll find the links. And it's amazing. It's amazing. All right. I just looked up. We're running up against the break. I still got more stories. I want to talk more, and I want to take some phone calls, but nobody's calling in this morning. It's okay. Bah humbug to you. I mean, Merry Christmas to you. We're gonna continue in just a moment. Mike Shower's coming up at the top of the hour. We'll continue on with that, but we'll see what we need. Back with more of the Michael Duke Show. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, my friends.
It's the Michael Dukes Show.
Oh, yeah. Feeling this holiday thing. Give me some nog.
You can fake your holiday spirit, or you can just try to find it for real. Happy holidays. Good luck with that. Streaming live every weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Okay. Bill said he'd love to do a Donna course, but he's having neck surgery next month sometime. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. I think I'll get Donna to sign off on it. She'll do me a solid. If you want those instead of the coffee mug and the coffee, I'll get her to sign off on making them good till whenever you're ready, Bill. You just let me know. I just turned on the Christmas music in the background. This is the way. This is the way. I'm with you on that. If I could get away with playing official classical Christmas music I would be doing that right now. But boy, does Facebook and YouTube hate me. They just hate me. Copy a link to playlist. Here's my Spotify list. Let's light up the phone line, says Melody. Last chance of the year to call in. Hey, I'm all about that. There's my Spotify playlist that I'd be playing right this minute. If nothing better than grandkids sleeping all over the house. Floors, chairs, one on the computer room floor, add the 3 dogs, and it's a complete heavenly mess. Oh, you know it, Denise. You know it's a complete heavenly mess. I mean, that's the kind of mess that you want right there. That's the kind of mess that you want. Sounds great. I probably can drag you up some. You know what, Bill? We'll figure it out. We got a little time now. I'll have to get with Donna to make sure we can get. I'll get some new certificates or whatever, or just sign off on these and extend them. But I will. I'll get you some. I'll get you some coffee too, Bill, because I know you like the coffee. Yeah, I think I've given you coffee. Have you actually had the coffee before? If I'm not mistaken, I do somehow recall vaguely giving you a bag of coffee in a parking lot somewhere, like it was some kind of drug deal. It's good stuff here, Bill. Don't have this all at once. If I remember correctly, that's the fact. The Italian ice cream, Spumoni. Oh man. Spumoni is so good. I wish I could just isolate the pistachio component of Spumoni, because I love pistachio ice cream, pistachio pudding, pistachio ice cream. There's something about it. I don't know, but Spumoni is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, that's right. We did. We traded it like a drug deal in the parking lot. It was amazing. All right. Well, Bill, we'll get you some certificates and some coffee and maybe a mug, but we'll definitely get Jennifer a mug and some coffee because that's what she wanted. He said from before. You could make a lot of snow ice cream this year. Oh, I mean, there's just so much of the white stuff out there, and it just kept snowing last night. I got home and it was still snowing, and it was just oof. My oldest daughter called yesterday to brag on my grandson who was crocheting at Christmas teddy bear for his new girlfriend, who has led less than a fruitful life. That's the stuff. That's the stuff right there for sure. Okay. How much time we got here? Oof. Well, that's not good. We're going to have to rejoin. No, they're going to rejoin on the thing there. Okay. All right. One final segment. And the phone lines are still open. So I guess I'm doing good news. Good news. Good news. Yeah, that story. The 4-month-old baby sucked up into a tornado and found asleep in a tree. How in the heck? That can only be divine providence at that point. I mean, come on, really? That can only be divine providence. It's amazing. Okay. Well, we are about a minute out or so. Snow cream. It was a treat. What is snow cream? I'm confused. Denise says snow cream was a treat in Arizona growing up. I don't know what snow cream is. What are we talking about? But I'm interested. I'm interested to hear about it. Let me know. All right, jumping back into it. Here we go. We are about 30 seconds out. It's about to ring a ding. And we will continue the Michael Duke Show, common sense, liberty-based, free thinking radio. Let's go back right now and get it done. Let me do some. No, I don't want that one. There we go. That's the one I want. Here we go. Okay, welcome back to the program. We're continuing on right now, the Michael Duke Show. We're ready to jump into this thing and get it done. Let's, we got a line on hold. I just put them on hold because the automatic hold feature was not up. So we're going to talk to them here right now, and we're going to see what they have to say about the holidays before I jump back into some of these other stories. State Senator Mike Shower will be joining us after the top of the hour. We've just been, jaw-jacking in the chat room, talking about Christmas memories and everything. It's been a fun time. So let's get over here to the phones, shall we, and do this and see what you have to say. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Michael. It's Melody from Wasilla.
Well, hello, Melody. Melody was in the chat room encouraging everyone to call in because it's the last chance you get to call in for the year. So that was it.
I figured you were feeling a little lonely this morning, so I thought I would give you a call. I just wanted to put a message out to everybody out there that Merry Christmas, you guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. I know you said in the chat room earlier. I know you said in the chat room earlier that. Yeah, I know that you're having a hard time because you're.
I'm trying to maintain my sensibility right now.
Yeah,
I just want to thank everybody in this chat group. I made some friends. There's been people in the chat room that that we fought battles this year together with the school district. I've made friends in this group. You guys keep me going. I look forward to this show every morning.
Well,
even if it's Firearms Friday, I listen in just to see what's going on out there. Just wanted to tell everybody, thank you so much.
Well, Melody, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your diligence. We see you in there every morning, and it's just great to be part of a community of friends, isn't it? Isn't it just great to be part of a group of hanging out and do stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. You are continuing on in your grandmother's, spirit and a tradition. And, you're doing some great stuff. And we appreciate you. And I wish you and your family and all your kids and everybody else a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We look forward to talking to you again in 2024. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what this new year is going to bring. I've got positive outlook for it because, wow, we've been through some stuff for the last few years.
Yeah, we have. We've been through some stuff, and we might have to go through a little bit more, but you know what? We'll make it through. We'll be recharged, and we'll be raring to go on January 2, okay?
Amen.
All right. Well, thank you.
You have a Merry Christmas, Michael. Thank you for your radio show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Melody. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to your family as well. All right, let's go over here to this line, see who it is. Good morning. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Bob the Boater. I'm probably in a bad cell zone. There's just on a downside, I guess, at 343 mile on the Parks Highway.
Well, we can.
So that's 443. So it's between the Monument and Old Nana.
Okay. What's on your mind today, Bob? Quickly before we lose you.
I want to let you know that when I was a kid, we went around looking at Christmas lights in like the late 60s. And my dad didn't know, but somebody was playing Santa Claus for their house, and he pulled up on Santa Claus with those little kids, and the Santa Claus was on the roof. And then he came down and talked to us.
The Santa Claus was on the roof, and he came
pretty good when you're a kid.
So you drive up to a house, and Santa's on the roof, and Dad just kind of leisurely drives up, and Santa gets down and talks to the kids as well.
In the back seat of yep. We were like freaking out. Holy cow! Santa Claus is real. He's on top of that house. We seen him, Mom. We got home. He was telling everybody that we done it. It just happened to happen. How's that sound?
Oh, that is amazing.
I lose you now?
No, I can hear you. What an amazing story. I mean, I can't imagine as a kid seeing that. Dad, you're just tooling around, checking out the Christmas lights. Look at that house. Hey, there's a jolly fat man on top of that house. Yeah. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I guess he had went up in the back. Dad told us later he had went up in the back of the house, so the ladder was in the back. To us, he was on the roof and stuff. Then he magically appeared around the corner. Check this out.
Yeah, that's
But I
amazing.
wanted to tell you, it was the original Planet of the Apes movie. They were
okay.
We were at a drive-in, and they were doing a promo, and there was one of them apes going from car to car. You can imagine when you're a kid in the back seat of the car, and here comes one of them gorillas.
Oh man! Like in the drive-through, they just come and knock on the door.
Another one to get your heartbeat going.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Cool.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
Yeah,
thanks for calling in and joining us. I appreciate that. Wow. Could you imagine driving around the neighborhood, just enjoying the lights, and you're like, Dad, look, it's Santa. And then he actually comes around and talks to the, oh, that's some amazing stuff right there, my friends. That's an amazing holiday memory that you will not forget. For sure. That is, it's just crazy. All right. We got, what do we got here? Well, we're about 5 minutes here. We got 5 minutes. So the lines are open. If you want to, share me a last minute Christmas story, now's the time to do it at 907-433-3150, 907-433-3150. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. It was great. Denise said there was always that one house with the best lights on the outside. If you turned up the radio with the Christmas music, and we got a candy cane. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. One of Tawny's favorite Christmas memories is that when Mom, aka Santa, obtained refrigerator boxes, and all of our presents were in one box per child. It was aside for 4 large boxes in the living room. I was 7 years old. Could you imagine 4 refrigerator boxes in the room. That's it. There's 4 presents, but they're the size of a refrigerator box. Now, that's either genius or the ultimate of lazy, Tawny, one of the two. Because she's like, I don't want to wrap all these presents. So I could just get these boxes and wrap 4 big boxes. That's amazing. That is pure genius right there. That is absolutely, it's absolutely amazing to see that. Jim says, "How come we don't trick or treat on Christmas?" Well, because we don't trick or treat. We just drive around like we were trick or treating, but look at the lights instead of asking for candy. Or we go caroling. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? You're still going house to house. You're still sharing. Instead of tricking or treating, you're sharing the joy and the love. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. That's a great idea. Oh, man, so good. Everybody giving Melody the high five in the chat room for going out. Teresa says, going out at night on the frozen lake at our Bush homestead to use an axe for chopping ice, preparing for making old-fashioned ice cream with a crank grinder was something that warmed my heart to reminisce about. Oof, that's some hardcore. That's a hardcore Christmas. When you go out on the homestead to get a axe and chop ice to make old-fashioned ice cream with a hand crank. With a hand crank. That is some old school stuff right there. That is some old stuff right there. What else have I got here? Okay. All right. I think that covers it. Let me see. What was the last story I wanted to store? Luke Holmes. No, I'll do this story. This is a good one. Crystal was 6 years old when Dave Poland began transporting her over 170 miles from her home in Somerville, Indiana, to the hospital. She was born with amniotic band syndrome and was directed to the Shriners Children's Hospital in St. Louis for treatment. David started volunteering as a driver 30 years earlier, transporting patients so they could improve their quality of life. And they had a hard time. Crystal's family had a hard time getting back and forth because their father worked long hours, so they accepted the offer from the local Shriners. Over the course of 10 trips, the conversations were plentiful on their 3-hour back and forth trips from the hospital. Dave was driver dad for Crystal, but soon became more. He became a friend, and their unexpected friendship lasted for over 3 decades. In fact, decades after meeting the sweet little girl with a prosthetic leg, Dave was a guest at Crystal's wedding. As the years rolled on, Dave became sick. Eventually, doctors gave a diagnosis of end-stage renal failure. They said Dave would need dialysis for the rest of his life or a kidney transplant. He also got the warning that an available kidney might take 5 years to obtain. He reached out to Crystal to talk through the process because her husband had just received a liver transplant that saved his life. Crystal immediately saw an opportunity to return the favor, and she found out they shared the same blood type. And without hesitation, she offered to donate her kidney. She said, the kidney belongs to him whenever he decides to take it. Dave was shocked and hesitant as he knew Crystal was a mother of 3 kids with a full-time job, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. After a year on dialysis, Dave took her up on it. And he goes, I'm so thankful now. I feel like I can do anything. And she said, since I was little, I've always questioned why Dave was so good to us because he was so kind and so willing to help out with everything. I always question why. And what I've come to understand is if I was born with one leg so I could give my kidney to Dave, then so be it. That, my friends, is a story to finish up on. Mike Shower's up next. The Michael Duke Show. Okay. I almost didn't make it through that story, guys. I don't know what it is, but today I are a little emotional. I don't know why, but that was hard. That was almost too much. Almost too much. Oh, that little kitten meow sound you just made was precious. That was because I was trying not to burst into tears. All right? That was hard. Oof. Especially her comment. I'm tough. I'm tough. Tough. I don't cry. Don't cry. Oh, man. David said, my boys came home from school questioning the existence of Santa, and my reply was, if there was no such thing as Santa Claus, there probably won't be any Santa gifts. And to this day, almost 30 years later, they both still believe in Santa. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whew. Man. What a day. What a day. So good. Once we gave our 3-year-old a refrigerator box for Christmas. She loved it, but not as much as our 10-year-old son. He took it and chose to sleep in it for months. Oh. Gail says, my brother's a listener too. Could we send my brother some love as he sits by my dad's side at the hospital on comfort care, holding his hand all night while he insists Mom and I go home and get rest? Oh, Gail, I'm so sorry. Much love to you. May God bless and comfort you and your family. Merry Christmas to you guys. Oh, yeah. It's a day, right? I mean, I started out this way. How did I get to be such a hot mess today? Don't know. Feeling good about it, though. Feeling good. It's much better than being angry. Sometimes I end the show being a little angry, and I don't need that. I don't need that right now. I'm about to spend 2 weeks in bliss is what I'm about to do. I'm about to spend 2 weeks in absolute. I'm not leaving the house unless my wife makes me. You know what I mean? That is so great. Oh, God bless you all. God bless you all for being with me every day. There's so many of you who I see the names and I recognize them, and sometimes you don't say much. Every now and then, a single comment. I wish I had a list where I could just see everyone who's watching right now and know their names, because I know there's a bunch of lurkers in here that are just too embarrassed to say anything or to comment or whatever, but thank you. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to you. I mean, I get up every morning in the O Dark 30 every morning to do this show because of folks like you. You know, if I had to keep doing this in a box with no interaction with people, that's what it's how radio used to be. You're in a box and you're just listening to the callers, and if nobody's calling in, you have no idea of if what you're talking about is resonating or making any sense. And then we got the internet and we got the chat rooms and everything else, and it just made life so much better for me to be able to do this. So it's yeah, then there's the Bills of the world who just can't shut up. We love you, Bill. Thank you so much. It's JIH all day today, right? I don't think it's a Christmas miracle. I'm excited about it. Oh man. It's just amazing. Just amazing. But thank you all for being part of it with us today. We appreciate you guys. We, the royal we. That's me and the thing. Oh. I'm ready. I'm ready for the new year. I'm ready for a little bit of peace and quiet and just hanging out, eating way too much good food, doing way too little, sitting on the couch, enjoying movies, just putting the world aside for a little bit. Yeah, it would be awesome if we could meet together and have a real people-to-people chat. Maybe we'll do that here shortly. How about that? Maybe we'll do that in the new year. Okay. What was... Yes, I do know what JIH means. I do know what it means. I just got a text that, do you know what JIH means? Well, I don't have to today because it's not a problem today, apparently, right? There's no Folgers to be seen. And that's okay, too. Justin, my gosh, it's been a while since we talked, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. And thanks for doing it. He's down in Texas now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And you can keep in touch with Alaska right here through the show. That's the important part. Okay, my friends. Well, let's jump into it. Here we go. Hour 2. I'm hoping Mike is going to log in here any second. We'll see what happens. Back with more. The Michael Duke Show. Common Sense Radio.
Whoa, buddy. Put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Live around the world on the internet at MichaelDukesShow.com and across the state of Alaska. This is your favorite radio station and or FM translator. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the... Oh, I should probably mash the button here. I forgot to mash the button to show my grizzled face. Good morning and welcome back to the program. It is hour 2 of the big radio show, and we are ready to go. I just got a text from somebody said that they're listening on the live stream. Merry Christmas. Live stream available, by the way, at MichaelDukesShow.com if you want to go over there and hang out with us and listen. The audio only live stream, which is available on my website at MichaelDukesShow.com. Also available on TuneIn Radio and I don't know, KFAR. Actually, KFAR's got a live stream on as well. If you want to listen to it there, you can go do that there. Mike Shower is scheduled to be with us, and I don't know. I checked in with him. I checked with him 5 days ago to make sure that we're good for today, and he said yes. And now I see in the chat room that Terry just said that he was working. Talked to Michelle last night, fingers crossed. So maybe he's going to show up a little late. I mean, maybe he's flying in and is going to be calling in. I don't know. I guess I should send a text message to Michelle and ask her if is he coming on this morning? I just assumed it was going to be all good. Well, I should just do it as right there. All right, final hour of the show this morning, and the phone lines are still open. I didn't shut them off because I hadn't seen Mike yet. So if you guys want to share some memories or Christmas stuff or whatever, I'm all about that. I am all about sharing some Christmas discussions. This will not be the show where you'd be like, oh, this is the show that I share with all my friends. This is just a hangout this morning. This is just you and me hanging out and enjoying each other's company on the final day of the show for 2023, and just appreciate each other. It's a mutual appreciation society. Let's put it that way. All right, so we got a couple lines open right now, a couple lines on hold rather, and a couple lines open. So we're just going to keep taking phone calls this morning until a shower shows up. If he does, he may be working and just, sometimes he forgets to send me a text message when he's going over to Asia somewhere. I don't know why his phone doesn't work over there. Why? I mean, it's, let's go over to the phones and see what you guys have to say. 907-433-3150. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Fairbanks. Hey, this is Bob Porter again. I wanted to finish something I had to say there.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Bob.
That's defying highway driving here this morning. There was an old radio. Well, it's not an old radio program. A guy on the radio out of Minnesota back in the early 2000s or so. They got a podcast now called Garage Logic. But you ought to look it up. There's Garage Logic and the Christmas light story. Joe Shushere is the guy's name. But basically, it's kind of flat down in that Minnesota area there. And you can see one farm after another from one farm to the other. Well, this fellow ran 2,000 and some odd foot of wire over to his neighbor, who's always proud of putting his Christmas lights up. And he ran the wire all the way over to the guy's shed and barn. And the guy's all proud of his lights, but every time he goes up on the thing and fixes them, gets down, turn around to look at it, the guy way out across the field hits the switch and turns them off, or turns half of them off, turns parts on and off.
That's just me.
You getting that?
That's just mean.
So they ended up putting a rheostat on it, and so you could dim the lights, you could turn off different parts, and then you'd go back over to the guy's place and run the wires a little bit different. Then the guy would go, and so that guy, the guy that's running these Christmas lights, is now getting totally pissed off, and he hires an electrician. So the electrician, he goes over there, what's going on? And then, but the guy who ran the wires pulled the wires back out, put them back out in the field. And then as soon as the electrician left, he went back over there. The electrician didn't find anything wrong. And that guy wired back into the guy's little fuse box area. And you'd have to listen to it. It's like 45 minutes long, how this guy goes up and down the ladder fixing his stuff. The family's in the house. They don't want to talk to him anymore because he's too angry that every time he does something, his lights half go on, some go out, some won't work. And there's nothing wrong, according to the electrician. But, I don't know. They got a guy sitting over there on his porch just having a day of that thing.
Oh, man. Well, I'll have to. What's the name of the podcast?
I just want to pass that on. You have to find it.
The podcast is called Garage City. Is that what you said?
Garage Logic.
Garage Logic.
Garage Logic, yep. Anything that good happens and starts in the garage.
Okay. All right.
The Joe Shushere is the name. Once you look it up, Christmas lights, you'll have tears running down your face, let me tell you. All right.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I appreciate you calling in. I mean, it's funny in the retelling, but boy, I imagine that guy was about to have a stroke over the fact that his Christmas lights weren't working. It was not very neighborly. I wonder if I'm going to have to go back and listen just to see if he ever found out who the real culprit was. All right, back over here we go. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Lori. I'm calling from Homer.
Hello, Lori from Homer. Merry Christmas to you. What's on your mind?
Oh, Merry Christmas to you too. We just started a family tradition in our family many years ago when my kids were little, and it was the day after Thanksgiving is always when we put up our Christmas tree. And so I started choosing an ornament for each of the girls that had something to do with the year that, and gave it to them. And then when they moved out, they had ornaments for their tree.
Yeah, that's a thing. We just realized it this year. My daughter got married and moved a few years ago. And we gave her a few ornaments that we'd collected over the years for her. But my son was like, he moved out, and so this is his first Christmas in his own place, and he was like, I gave him. We had our old Christmas tree. We replaced our Christmas tree about 3 years ago, and we had our old tree. So I gave him that tree. And then he's like, yeah, he goes, I don't have many ornaments. And I said, well, we can take it. That's a perfect idea, because we had to pick through the ornaments to figure out which ones we had given him or he had received. And then he went out and bought his own. But that's a great idea that you should do. So if people, with grandkids or whatever, encourage them all to, get one ornament every year. By the time they get to the, 18 years old or whatever, they've got 18, 20 ornaments that they can use for their own Christmas tree. It's a perfect idea, Lori. That's a perfect idea. And
each one has a story because it relates to something that happened that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's perfect. And do you get them, like, how do you find, an ornament that relates to something that they did? Do you like search for it? Do you make them, or what are they custom? What's the deal?
Both. It just depends. So I would look for them, and if I couldn't find one, then I would make something.
Well, it's a perfect solution.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet. And that's a great memory. It's a great idea, Lori. I appreciate that. That's a great tradition, and I'm gonna talk to my daughter about that for her kids. So we'll see. Then we won't have to go through the pain of like, which one of these is yours? Kind of thing. So, all right, Lori. Well, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too.
All right. Let's go over here. We got one more line on hold. We got 3 lines open if you want to call in at 907-433-3150. Sharing your Christmas stories, sharing your Christmas memories or traditions like Lori just did. That's a good one. I wish somebody had told me that earlier. Let's go over here. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Mike in Fairbanks, and Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Dukes, and all your listeners out there.
I appreciate it.
I just wanted to make a request here. I'd like you to do a follow-up story on the lady principal in the Matsu who got carted off to the mental ward with a false piece of paper that the troopers had, and she spent a couple days in the mental ward and then was out. And remember that one?
Oh, I remember it. I mean, we can follow up on that in the new year for sure.
Yeah, I want to see if any lawsuit was filed or anything like that. And where's she at now? Or she lose her job or anything like that?
Okay, well, I appreciate it, Mike. Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for calling in this morning. I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you later.
All right. That wasn't very Christmassy, but we'll let it stand. We'll look at that in the new year. We're not doing any of those stories right now. Because we don't. I don't want any of those stories. So it'll be fine. Okay. Well, we're coming up on the break. I do have a few stories left here to kind of go over. Luckily, I always over prepare. And we'll see what other stories we can come up with, and what other calls from you. My Christmas wish, you could give me the greatest Christmas present ever if you just called in and talked to me about your own Christmas traditions and stories at 907-433-3150. 907-433-3150. Just swing on by and we'll have a chat about your favorite Christmas stories. That's what it's all about today. So let's just go to break. And hopefully we hear in a little bit here from State Senator Mike Shower. He may have ended up having to work. But who knows? Maybe he'll join us there for last final segment. We could do some reminiscing. The Michael Duke Show. Common sense, liberty-based, holiday radio. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being part of my year. And thanks for listening. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's the Michael Dukes Show.
Oh yeah, feeling this holiday thing. Give me some nog.
You can fake your holiday spirit, or you can just try to find it for real. Happy holidays. Good luck with that. Streaming live every weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Oh. What did somebody just say? He said, hopefully he didn't break down in his Pinto. There's the picture of Mike Shower, all 6 foot something of him, crammed into a Pinto, driving around in a Pinto. He's missing all the fun today. He's still missing all the fun today. Terry says he's in Asia. We'll see what happens, but we'll get around to it. Let's see. Let's see. We did a meetup. Because somebody said something about getting a meetup and meeting together. And Jeannie points out that usually I have a place to meet up as he's cruising to Homer. Ammo Can Coffee let me broadcast from their bistro, their coffee shop there. I've done that a couple times. There's some great folks down there. We have a good time. It's a lot of fun. So definitely love for you guys to come in and see us. We should just do a like a meetup for people. We've done that for folks down in Soldotna and Homer, and did it in Fairbanks once. But yeah, we should just do a a meetup for everybody. We talked about having a barbecue and meet and greet. I think it's a great idea. I think it would be fun. I think that would be fun. We'll have to see about that in the new year. How about that? Denise says almost 1 year anniversary of the type 1 diabetes for one of our grandkids. We figured it out. He's doing well. Our Christmas memories will be forever changed. He was diagnosed on Christmas Day. He can now say he got type 1 diabetes for Christmas. Life-changing for sure, but he's doing wonderful, and our family keeps walking this new normal with a few sugar-free treats tossed in. That's some great stuff there. That's how we overcome it. And yes, gay frogs are off the table then. Fluoride in the water, turn the frogs gay. I mean, you know. Oh man. I'm this year staying home for Christmas. Next year the plan is Orlando or Scottsdale. Good for you. Good for you. Do a big barbecue this spring. We have to do something. If we had the budget, we could storm Juneau. Could you imagine? That's only $2,000 a person to go to Juneau, right? 2,000, 2,500, something like that with hotel rooms. Oh, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. I see that we have got good word this week. Our foster baby's case has been changed to adoption. Got word this week. Our foster's baby's case has been changed to adoption. There's a Christmas gift with no words. Oh, Melissa Beth, that is amazing. Congratulations and Merry Christmas to your family for the new edition, official new edition. Good for you. Good for you. And Justin is apparently Justin's dad. The Justin I was thinking about is Justin's dad. He said, I'm in Pahrump. My son, Justin Robert, lived in Texas. So yeah, it was your son that I was thinking about. But he moved to Texas, or he moved to Pahrump 2 years ago. Pahrump, you guys are right outside of Front Sight. That'd be a fun thing to do. Be able to pop over to Front Sight whenever you wanted. I was a diamond level member, so I mean that would have been beautiful if I lived in Nevada. I could have gone to Front Sight every once a month or something. All right, we got a couple lines on hold coming up. We're about 30 seconds out. I'm sorry, callers. I usually get the names during the break, but I got waylaid I was distracted. I'm distracto boy. Distracted by the chat room. So we'll just have to take your phone calls cold. That's just how it works around here. We're about 15 seconds out. So we got a couple lines on hold, and they're giving their Christmas gifts to me by calling in and sharing their memories. So we're looking forward to it. All right, let's get it going on. Here we go. The Michael Duke Show, common sense, liberty-based, free thinking radio. No, let's do this. Here we go. Okay, welcome back to the program. Getting ready to wind out. It looks like Mike is airborne somewhere, so probably not going to hear from Mike Shower today, which is unfortunate. I thought it'd be a fun way to end up the year, but that's okay. That's okay. Instead, I get a chance to chat with you because you guys are doing the thing here. Let's jump over to the phone lines and share some more Christmas cheer and memories with each other. We'll go to this caller and say, good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Michael. Good morning. This is Cindy from Soldotna.
Good morning, Cindy. What is on your mind, my dear? Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you and everybody listening. I have never called into the show before, and you definitely motivated me to. And I really just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody and to let you know I met you almost 3 years ago down here at Ammo Can, and you gave me one of your mugs, which unfortunately broke a year ago, and you actively got me listening to the show, and just I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you listening, and we'll have to hook up again sometime. Next time I'm coming down to Homer, I'll get another case of mugs, and we'll get some more mugs down there, and you can get yourself a replacement 6 o'clock club mug and enjoy a little brew as we hang out together every morning. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And on the note for Christmas, one of the traditions my husband and I would do is after the kids would go to bed, we would wait literally that night to wrap every single gift and just look at everything when the girls were little. And we put the reindeer tracks in the snow, ate the carrots and the cookies, and drank the eggnog from Santa. He'd write back a little note. And I'll tell you what, when kids are little and they wake up to just that amazement of the things that parents provide, it's truly amazing.
It is, isn't it? I mean, you see it in their face. It's the untold possibility that they see, right? It's the bright-eyed innocence of children who it's just the wonderment on their face. It was worth it because my wife and I used to do the same thing. We'd stay up, we'd let them go to bed, we'd watch a movie or something for an hour or two, and then we'd get down to it. And of course, by this time it's, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and we're wrapping presents and doing all that stuff. And that's why we're wiped out the next morning. But it was worth it. That wonderment in the next morning when they would see the half-eaten cookies and the eggnog or milk that's gone and the tracks outside. I mean, it was worth it. It was worth all of it.
It is, and I'll tell you, those kids, they don't forget it. And so for the parents that do that, kudos to you, and wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas. Thanks again for the show.
Cindy, Merry Christmas to you and your family. It's good to talk with you. Thank you for calling in, and thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Can't do it with people like you out there. Thank you so much for calling in and being part of it today. All right, let's go over here and take another call. Got some lines open at 433-3150, your traditions and more. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Debbie from Fairbanks.
Good morning, Debbie. How are you this morning?
Oh, very, very blessed. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and your family. I hope you're having a happy holiday season. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, we talk about different things that we do, and for our family, they're all up and out of the house, grown families of their own. But we would always, at Christmas time when we were decorating, set out our nativities, and I had received from my mother a creche her uncle had made for her, and the little figurines that go in. But our biggest tradition is when we set it up, this special one, we leave baby Jesus out, and then on Christmas morning we read the story together, and then baby Jesus is in the creche. So that is our big family tradition.
That's a cool one. I mean, the Christmas story, to tell the story of the star and the wise men and everything else, and then to pull it out, that really puts the symbolism right back into it where it needs to be. And I love that. Like I said earlier, one of my favorite pieces of music is from Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians. And he's got two different pieces. One's called The Meaning of Christmas, and the other one is The Christmas Story. And it is just an amazing, it's like 20 minutes long, where it tells the story of the babe in the manger and the Adeste Fidelis and the hymns and everything. I love that story. And I think that would be a great, and holding back the baby in the nativity until Christmas Day. That's a pretty sweet deal. That's a pretty sweet deal, Debbie.
Yeah, and then when the kids were old enough to start reading the story on their own, then each one took a turn reading the story. And so it was a different person every year.
That's great. That's great. Keeping the meaning of the season in the right place, that's important. And I think that's some great stuff. Well, thank you, Debbie. Hopefully, again, they've passed that on to their kids, and you're just continuing to share that message over and over. That's the important part.
I totally agree.
All right.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much for coming on board and sharing your thoughts with us and your traditions. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and a happy holidays for the rest of the year. All right, that leaves all four lines open right now. If you'd love to sound off with any of your Christmas memories or holidays or favorite movies or whatever it is that you want to talk about, well, now's the time to jump on board and share with us here as we get ready to wrap up the final 25 minutes of the show for the year. We'd love to hear from you and see what you have to say. Again, at 907-433-3150, 907-433-3150. I should also check my email. It's because I got the thing where it says email me every day. And see if anybody sent me an email this morning. Nope, no emails this morning. So we're good to go. We're just me and you and the stories for Christmas. We've got some great. I've got a couple more great stories here. I thought this was pretty. This is a pretty good story. Now I don't know. We've talked about how I have a deficiency in affinity for country music, right? I don't, I'm not that familiar with it. I know the names and things like that. So I recognize this name, Luke Combs, right? Luke Combs is a pretty big country fan. He's a country music star. Well, he also has a pretty big heart. He learned that when a big fan of his was fined $250,000 for using his likeness, well, he stepped in to help. A company contracted by Combs's management identified Florida resident Nicole Harness as selling tumblers and T-shirts with his likeness on them on Amazon. Taking her to court, they won $250,000 in a damages judgment. Money which Nicole Harness doesn't have. She has congestive heart failure and is just trying to make a little money on the side, did not have and had no means of obtaining this $250,000. Combs said in a social media post, he actually posted on social media about this. She told me she was absolutely shocked by this. She said, "I'm so apologetic talking to her. It makes me sick, honestly, that this would happen, especially at the holiday." In total, she sold just 18 tumblers. She'd earned a total of $360, and she had no idea that she was targeted along with a suite of other illegal online vendors in an October lawsuit filed in court in Illinois. She lives in Florida. She did not receive notice. She had no idea. Luke Combs said, so we do have a company that goes after folks, only supposedly large corporations operating internationally. They make millions and millions of dollars making counterfeit T-shirts and things of that nature. He said, apparently this woman, Nicole, somehow got wrapped up in it. And he said he talked to her directly, and she told him that she had $5,500 locked in her Amazon account, her merchant account, which the judge determined had to go towards the $250,000 that she was ordered to pay Combs. So not only did he waive whatever the $250,000 that she was supposed to pay him, he also said, I'm going to double that and send her $11,000 today just so she doesn't have anything to worry about. She was never supposed to be involved in anything like this. Furthermore, Combs has decided to license an official Tumblr himself to sell on his online stores, with all the proceeds going to fund her medical bills for her congestive heart failure. He said, I invited Nicole and her family out to a show this year so I can give her a big hug and say sorry in person. He says, yeah, I love you guys. I just wanted to clear that up because it makes me sick for anybody thinking that I'm that kind of person. Apparently, in Illinois, court orders can be served via email, and in Florida, it's supposed to be in person. She didn't realize that she'd been served. She said it was in her spam folder and didn't even know. So this is a, congratulations to him for being the bigger man. She made $360 and they want to fine her $250,000 for something like that. That just seems a little overkill for that story. But Luke Combs seems to be one heck of a guy. So good for him in that. Just shows the kind of person he is, and I definitely appreciate that. One final story before we go to break. Last year, GNN reported on the kind heart of an 11-year-old boy named Isaac Winfield, who opened a food bank in his garden shed to help the poor during the COVID-19 lockdowns. This is the kind of kid he is. He just, he wanted to help out, so he created a food bank in a shed. Now Isaac is preparing to open a gift bank for moms and dads who can't afford presents for their children, in addition to his 5th food bank in a shed. December's a big month for Isaac. It's its birthday month. There's also Christmas and the anniversary of the launch of his food bank, which, by the way, he started his food bank with money from his birthday. He asked for money, and then he started the food bank with his birthday money. He went on to open additional food banks in his hometown of Redditch in Worcestershire, England. After realizing how many people in his community needed a helping hand, he just couldn't sit by. His gift bank opened last week after enlisting the help of a local pub, the Greenland Pub, to store hundreds of toys and gifts for needy families that he's received from donors. And he said Christmas can be a stressful time, and just wanted to help many people celebrate without worrying. He's absolutely ecstatic to see his shelves full of toys and gifts for family. According to his mother, they had 200 families arrive on the first day that their present bank was open. The response was phenomenal. Obviously, there's a need. And this kid reached out and found a need and fill a need. They also mentioned, again, the 5th food bank has been opened alongside the YMCA. And I mean, some of these kids are just amazing. We've been telling these stories for the last week about these different kids doing sock drives for elderly people in old homes, and people doing food drives and giving back and doing all this stuff. That's the hope in the world, my friends. Kids like this who learn, who are doing what they can, who see a problem and don't get hung up on the fact that they're a kid and they shouldn't be able to take care of this. The adults should be, and they're like, nope, we're going to step up and we're going to do it. And I'm just amazed, absolutely amazed, and pleased to see that there is hope for the future in that regard. Okay, we got to go. Hour 2 getting ready to wrap up. One final segment. We will return in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. The Michael Duke Show phone lines are open. If you want to get the final word in 2023, well, this is your last chance to do it. Get in the queue now. 907-433-3150. Back with more. Merry Christmas, The Michael Duke Show.
It's the Michael Dukes Show.
Oh, it's a magical Christmas time again. Your kids are counting on you.
Yeah, Dad.
Now, if only someone would do something for you.
Honey, headache. Oh.
Streaming live every weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Okay, it's been a fast show, even though we didn't end up with any guests and everything else. The show's been like fast. All right. Hello. I was horrified somewhat in the sophomore. Teresa's telling stories about all the frogs that she saved over the years, and then she had to dissect a frog in high school. Bill says Luke Combs is freaking awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was super cool. Just to be like, yeah, that's great. Does anyone collect specific decorations? Our daughter started collecting nutcrackers and counted 67 this year. Woof. That's a lot of nutcrackers. No. Bill says best show ever. Well, thank you. And Debbie, thank you for calling in. Debbie said, thanks for taking my call. We love having you on. Thank you for calling in. Wait, I better go get this caller's name I'm going to come back to the comments, but let me get this caller's name to see where they're calling from. Good morning. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
It's Chad from Fairbanks.
Okay, Chad, hold the line, my friend. You will be number one on the other side of this. Hold on. I'll be right back to you here. So Chad's in the queue, ready to talk with us this morning. We'll be joining him in just a second. Specific decorations. You know, my wife has started collecting bristle trees. You know what bristle trees are? I mean, you probably do. Bristle trees are they look like they're like a brush, right? They look like a brush that's shaped like a Christmas tree. And yeah, it would be bristle trees they're kind of cool. They're very nostalgic. And I don't know, she's probably got 30 or 40 bristle trees now at this point. I love the look of them. I think they're amazing. So I'm all about that. I love garland. I mean, you see the garland around my border here. I picked this specifically because I love garland. And, man, the best garland I have is like 25 years old. I mean, maybe even 30. I think we bought it in the first couple of years that we were married. And I have not been able to find a garland that nice since then. I'm like, where are all the good garlands? Most of them look really anemic and, this one is when you fluff out all the branches and everything. I mean, the thing has got to be 6 inches in diameter. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful dark green garland. And I don't seem to be able to find that anymore. It's unfortunate. But I love garland. I love to deck the halls with boughs. I love to deck the halls with all the boughs. I don't know what else would be Christmassy that we enjoy. I mean, I love the shiny ornaments. I don't know. Donna says she has Labrador ornaments. Everyone is different. I also have ornaments from every governor's mansion where I've worked in the White House, except Alaska. That may not make them. Well, that's cool. That is cool. Each one tells a story. We were laughing because I couldn't find. My wife and I have an ornament that is our first Christmas together. And it's this little ornament that's like, it's a heart that's got like green boughs around it. And it's got 2 people in the middle on a little spindle. They spin, and I couldn't find it this year. I'm like, where is this ornament? I finally found it. But It's just one of those things. I love that. Everything about Christmas. Nutcrackers, I think they're cool, but I don't know if I would want to collect. I have to think about that. And I need to think about what would be the perfect collectible for Christmas. What should I be collecting every year? Ornaments. The one thing my kids were lamenting this year is when we lived in Fairbanks, we had cathedral ceilings in our living room. So we had a 9-foot Christmas tree. It was beautiful. Gosh, it was so beautiful. Oh. And of course, we left it in Fairbanks when we moved because I'd live in a house that has 8-foot ceilings. So we had to buy another Christmas tree. But my kids were like, boy, I really would love to see that tree. We have more ornaments because it was a 9-foot tree. We always have more ornaments than we can put on the tree. So maybe it's time to get a second Christmas tree. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's time to get a second Christmas tree and go there. Michael, search Bronner's Christmas store in Frankenmuth, Michigan. You want garland? They have garland. Oh, well, I'm going to have to go check it out because that's what I was looking for. Garland. I mean, can I find that's what I want. Garland. Our first ornament was a soda pop top chain my husband made on his lunch hour. Still have it 42 years later. Oh, that's sweet. That's all. That's sweet. That's amazing. Be like Denise, have 5 trees. I know. She's an overachiever. I mean, that's a tough one right there. 5 trees. It's insane. All right, let's get back into it. Here we go. The Michael Duke Show, Common Sense Radio. Okay, here we are. It's the last break, last segment of the entire year. We're ready to do it. Share it with you. 907-433-3150. Let's go over to the phone. Chad is in Fairbanks. He wanted to share some thoughts today. Merry Christmas, Chad. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, Merry Christmas to you, too. Just want to call. Love your show. My favorite Christmas memory, my grandmother used to tell us all stories of riding covered wagons up from West Texas to California and how her parents didn't have money to buy Christmas. And they said, we could get y'all kids Christmas if we sell your little guinea roosters. And they all said, no, we like our chickens. We want to keep them. And so for Christmas that year, they got an orange and a banana. All 9 of us grandkids believed it for years and years and years. About 2 years before she passed away, she came clean and said, I'm not old enough to ride a covered wagon from Texas to California.
Oh, Granny, you have deceived us all, but in a good way. You've made us think about the real meaning of Christmas.
But you know what? To this day, every time I see a banana or an orange, I think about all the wonderful, great times that we had hanging out in her little tiny house and all us grandkids getting away with just murder.
Yeah.
It's best memory ever.
You know what? That's good. You know what? And you can't even hold it against her. You can't even hold it against her because that was a great story. And it made you think about it. And I love that. That is fantastic, Chad. Well, thank you for sharing that Christmas memory. And Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thanks for listening and tuning in. I appreciate it.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. That leaves all 4 lines on open right now if you want to sound off. That's great. Granny she's been pulling the long con. Granny's been pulling the long con for years. I was a sourdough back in the, riding the wagon to California. Oh man, I could just imagine that would just be amazing. So we were just talking about Christmas ornaments or collectibles. What do people do? And where is the comment here? I'm looking for it. Cindy, who called in just a little bit ago, she said, does anyone collect specific decorations? She said, our daughter started collecting nutcrackers, and this year she has 67 nutcrackers. I've seen people who collect nutcrackers, and there's a huge variety of them. And I don't know. I mean, I'm having a hard time trying to decide what would be my favorite thing to collect for Christmas. I mean, what does Christmas say to me, And I don't know. My wife has started collecting over the last 5-6 years. She's collected bristle trees, which look like they look like a bristle brush, only they're shaped like a Christmas tree, and they've usually got white flocking on them. And they get real fancy with them now. Now they've got little LEDs in the branch. You can't even see them until you turn it on, and these little lit trees, they're so cute. And they come in, different colors and everything else. I think she's probably got, 30 bristle trees now, something like that. But super cool little decoration. But I just don't know. My thing is garland. I love garland. I love the greenery in the house. But boy, it's just you can't find good garland these days, it seems like. My favorite piece that we have is one that I bought almost 30 years ago when we first got married. But Bill in the chat room has hooked me up, and he told me to look for a place in Michigan called Bronner's Christmas Store. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go take a look at that and see if I can find it. Oh, it's right there, Bronner's. And they apparently, it's a whole store of nothing but Christmas stuff. And he says they've got a huge selection of, what? Bronner's Christmas Wonderland is a retail store in Frankenmuth, Michigan that promotes itself as the world's largest Christmas store. Designed with alpine architecture, the building is 7.35 acres inside, with landscaped grounds covering 27 acres. Well, this sounds like a kid in a candy store thing, man. Oh, I got to go check this out. Apparently, they do online stuff as well. Personalized ornaments. Oh, yeah. I just hook a brother up with some garland. That's all I want. Just give me some garland. And if I can find some great garland on there, I am going to be, I'm going to be a happy, happy man. So I'll go check this out. Oh man, they get some cool stuff in here already. I'm going to apparently do. Oh, there's bristle trees. Oh, don't show my wife. They got a whole thing about. Oh man. All right. So thank you, Bill, for sharing that with us. That holiday tip. I appreciate that. That is absolutely amazing. So let's see. Debbie says she collects nativities and snowmen. She said some of my favorite are my snowmen nativities. Of course they are. Yeah, of course they are. That's all about. It's all the good stuff that we keep remembering here. And that's what Christmas is all about for me. It's not about the presents. It's about the ambiance. It's about the feeling. Christmas is a feeling. It's the ability to put aside the care for me, because I'm not a worrier, but I always am thinking about stuff that I need to do next or things that need to happen next. And it's a chance for me to give myself permission to just kind of pull the plug and not think about, that whatever is on my mind today can wait for 2 weeks, and I can pick up that burden again in the new year. And that's what I look forward to. I look forward to just relaxing and releasing that and focusing on the time spent with family and just hanging out, holding hands with my wife as we sit on the couch and watch movies together or whatever. It's an amazing time. Absolutely amazing time. Greg says, my papa would cut the Christmas tree in half lengthwise and attach half on the outside of the window and the other half on the inside of the window. And then he'd decorate both sides of the tree. That's some crazy stuff. Was it like a plate glass window? Like a plate glass window where you do that? I mean, wow. I mean, that's That's some impressive stuff right there. You're going to cut the tree in half lengthwise and basically cut and paste it to the outside and inside of the window at the same time. That sounds crazy, but cool. I'd love to see some pictures of that. That would be another great, that would be another great chance there. Bronner says, Bill is absolutely magical. Frankenmuth is a go-to destination between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Donna Arduin says, Frankenmuth, Michigan is a town straight out of Germany, and Bronner's is that big. That's crazy. That's some good stuff right there. Well, if I got to tell you, friends, how happy I am to be with you today, and how happy I've been to spend this time with you this last year. It's been a heck of a ride. The last couple of years have been a little rough, for overall in the political scene and in the anxiety of Americans and the polarization and everything else. It's been kind of a tough time. And I'm just glad that we're here hanging out in these final minutes of the year. I appreciate that. It's great to be with you. All right. I think we got one final call here before we run out of time. So let's go over there and see who's on board with us. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Shelley. I'm calling from Homer.
Hello, Shelley. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you. What's on your mind?
Good morning. Merry Christmas. I just wanted to share one of my family's favorite traditions is enjoying the candlelight service on Christmas Eve. And down here in Homer, we have lots of options, but that is just a magical time. And just a lot of people, that's one of the only times they end up attending a service, usually Easter and Christmas. And there's a lot of people that are struggling that time of year. So I just want to encourage everybody, if you're struggling, just go attend a candlelight service somewhere. It will bring you joy, it will warm your heart, and it will remind you what the reason is for the season.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think that it's a great opportunity to remember why we're doing what we're doing. And sometimes in those tough times, it's great to be around other people who are believing the same thing, and you guys can all share in that communal spirit. I agree. Absolutely. Well, Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for coming on board.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for the show, and I wish you and yours a Happy New Year as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, folks. Well, I think that's it. let me just close that.
Goodbye.
For so long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. It's been great for this whole year. And I just can't imagine wanting to be anywhere else. I just can't imagine it. So we're looking forward to it. 2024 is around 2024. I'm wrapping my brain around that. 2024 is just around the corner. We'll kick things off on Tuesday the 2nd. Brad Keithley will be here to go over the state budget, and Chris Story will give us our uplift, and we're just going to kick things off right. It's going to be a fun time. We appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for spending your year with me, for spending your mornings with me. I couldn't do this without you guys. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and yours. May God bless you in the coming year. The Michael Duke Show. Merry Christmas. All right, you crazy kids. It's been amazing. It's been an absolutely amazing time. These last few days have been so much fun. Just changing the show up a bit and doing all that. I mean, it's great. It's great to put some of that stuff aside and just remember what's good, isn't it? That's what it's about. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. That's it. I'm done. We will be back in a couple weeks. Give everybody a hug for me, will you? Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, my friends.
We've shed our terrestrial radio skin, and now we are slimy lizard internet people. It's the Michael Duke Show.